Hey guys, welcome back to another segment of A2D Agree Disagree. I'm Michael. As always, I'm here with Bryan. All right, man. Best day of the year was yesterday. It's come and gone. It's over. But now we have our teams, dude. So overall, how do you feel about your team? How do you feel like you performed? And how do you feel?
Good, man. It's bittersweet, right? Because we so much build up to looking forward to it. Draft day is the best day of the year, man. It's awesome. We had a blast yesterday. All the guys came over, dude. We were having a good time. We'll just call it that.
Holy shit, they're animals.
Oh, there we go. Chug that shit. Oh, damn! Wow, let's go, B. Ryan. Let's see it right. Chug.
But yeah, man, there were some surprises. We got some guys that fell a little bit, some guys that got pushed up a little bit. Taking Josh Allen in round 2. So to me, that might be the biggest surprise, maybe the biggest reach, if you want to call it that. But yeah, man, it was a great time. And honestly, I like my team too. I ended up with the 5th pick. We drew from a hat. That's how we do it. We always have our selections. You had first draw because you were the champ the year before, and you selected number 8. And pretty happy about yours too. I know you already are. So, but yeah, I ended up with the 5th pick, and I like mine too. I like my team.
Yeah, I know. Yesterday we kind of had two different draft strategies. I noticed that you wanted to go running back in the first 2 rounds, which is one of the best ways to draft. And I think you got probably the best two. You definitely have the best duo of running backs in the league that we have. So, what was kind of your thought process going in the first round? I mean, you had the 5 pick. I mean, your first round pick was kind of obvious, but after taking Eckler in the first, man, like, so coming back, like, what was your thought process there?
Well, for me, like, I didn't have a strategy of getting 2 running backs. It just happened to play out that way. I kind of had the strategy. We had similar strategies of just let the board play out. Mm-hmm. Speaking of the board, it's obviously right behind me here. This is our draft board from yesterday. So you guys can kind of see it. We'll post a picture of it in the comment section below. But yeah, he said Eckler fell to me at 5. How he got there, I was a little surprised. Honestly, once I was at 5, I was thinking maybe I'm going to get Dalvin or Najee or something like that. And once Dalvin went up at 4, man, I couldn't get up to that board any quicker to put Eckler up there, man. I was pumped. I've had him a few years in a row now. That's my guy. So to me, I know he's consistent. And to pair Aaron Jones with him, I mean, I was honestly thinking Lenny. I almost had Lenny because he's my guy. But Danny swooped him up right before me, 1 pick before, and ended up with Aaron Jones. Not a bad other option, so he might even be better, honestly. So I was stoked with that duo, man. That's a killer duo.
Yeah, I haven't been as high on Aaron Jones, but recently I've been hearing a lot of how they're going to have two running back sets, and they're both going to be in there, and they're both probably going to get a lot of touches. They're probably both going to need to get a lot of touches for Green Bay to stay relevant on offense. So yeah, man, that was a good duo. Me, I had the 8 pick, and I've been really high on Najee Harris, and that was kind of where I was hoping to go at 8. Not everybody is high on him as I am. He got picked right before me, and John must be listening to the podcast because he was all about Najee going up there, and he put that name up there with confidence. So
quick too, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, after that, I told myself, I said, hey, if I have, there's one scenario that had to play out for me to go receiver, and that was with those top 5 backs being gone. And it worked out. Even Dalvin was gone too. So it worked out to where I got Justin Jefferson. I think it was destined. I was wearing his jersey yesterday. So,
oh shit, what's he wearing?
My first round pick, motherfucker.
What's this guy wearing?
It was kind of destined that I drafted him. But
where's that? It's right here. It's on this side.
Yeah, it's right. It's right above your shoulder. Yeah. So right there, that's my guy. That's my team right there. But coming back around the bend, dude, I had a first round grade on Joe Mixon too, and Jefferson was an easy pick right there at 8. I think that he has a very good chance to lead the league in receiving yards. But coming back, getting Joe Mixon as my RB1, man, I was pretty stoked about that one. They revamped their offensive line. He should have as good, if not better, of a season than he did last year. So I was really stoked about doing that on the turn. Getting an RB1 and Joe Mixon.
Right, dude. Hell yeah, you just said it. I had him as a back end first rounder all day, and to get him like a few picks into the second round is like that's a good value pick too.
Yeah.
To me, Josh probably should have took him instead of Diggs. He probably could have got Diggs on that turn because he had 9 pick. I think it was Swift, Jamar Chase, and then Saquon Barkley went after that. So he could have potentially got Mixon and then Diggs, and then I really don't think anybody else is going quarterback but him. He could have maybe had Mixon, Diggs, and Josh Allen, but he reached. To me, he reached. I think he, definitely pushed up. I think he pushed up Diggs a little bit even because to me, I had, Jamar Chase went after him. So everyone has different value on guys, but I thought he reached it. But I mean, he got probably the sickest stack you can get, and he got it in our lineup with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. So yeah.
He definitely had a plan to get that stack. I mean, he had targeted that stack because he reached on both picks to get that stack. And there's questions out there that might be the number one stack to have this year. Mahomes and Kelsey is probably another one that people would like to have. We're going to talk about Patrick Mahomes here in a second.
We got another one in our league, Burrow and Chase.
Yeah, Burrow and Chase is a good one.
12 pick, number 12. He's got it. Where's he at? He's over on this side. He's on this side.
Yeah, so he's
got Chase first round, and he's got Burrow in round 7. So that's a pretty sick stack.
Yeah, so Josh obviously had a plan to do that. It was, and I was talking to him a little bit last night about it, and it was a bold strategy. But last year there was
pays off, Cotton.
Yeah, last year, man, I was in a league where the guy went Tyreek and Patrick Mahomes on the turn, and we were offering trades to try to separate that duo because it was just killing us. They were putting up 60 fantasy points a week, and he obviously has confidence in that. So down the board, he's got some rookies on his team. He's got some picks with some upside. So if that duo can continue to go off week after week after week, then we'll see how it works out. But yeah, man. And then we had some other reaches too, like Saquon in the first pick of the second round was kind of high in our books. But, again, we've talked about Saquon and how we think that he's going to rebound after injury. But
then I agree, though. To me, that's a reach. Like Aaron Jones, Leonard Fournette,
Mixon.
Who else went out there? Yeah, Joe Mixon. There you go. I was taking him. Chubb even. Barkley, probably because he did me dirty last year. I mean, I say that, but then I went and took Allen Robinson again. So, each year shit changes. But, yeah, man, that's how kind of the top of the draft played out. Middle part, though, I mean, I feel like that's kind of when leagues are won and lost right there. And man, I went after some guys. You kind of knew because we obviously do the show together, but as I was going up, you almost knew who I was picking.
I knew almost every pick. I'm like, here he goes.
Right.
I know he's coming.
Dude, I ain't lying to nobody. I was high on these guys, and these are my guys. I called out Michael Pittman as a breakout. Same thing with Allen Robinson, and same thing with Gabe Davis. So T. Higgins is solid for me. He's kind of like a safe pick, but to have those 4 wide receivers, to me, with the 2 running backs that I have, I feel like I have depth at the most important position. So that's where I think I'm going to end up hanging around this year. That's for sure, man. I'm going to be tough.
I went into round 3. I mean, I went into the draft as a whole as taking the best player at that time, whoever fell to me. Let the board fall to me, and I take the best player at that time. I'm not high on taking tight ends in high rounds. I'm not. I've talked about it for a long time. But with Mark Andrews being there at, what pick was that, 32? I do believe he's a top 32 pick. And, so I could have gone receiver. I think that there was a couple of receivers right behind him, like a Deontay Johnson. There was a couple of receivers behind him that maybe I could have picked. But, some are arguing that he's going to be the number 1 tight end on the board.
Right. You're right. And if you look at the projections on our NFL app, projections are it's a whole nother story. But, yeah. I mean, he's projected that he's in the Kelsey territory now. He's projected like 19 points. And to be that value, like we talked about the discrepancy before at that position. Like I have Zach Ertz, who to me, is that next tier. You had your top 5 right in that next tier. It's Dalton Schultz is kind of that separated himself as the clear 6th guy, and then to me it was Zach Ertz, and that gap is an 8-point difference per week on projection between those top guys and these guys. So you almost have to go get them right there. So, but to your point, letting it fall to you, and it just happened to work out that way. You weren't, it's like you were targeting him, but at that point, you had to snag him. That was a good pick.
Yeah. And, and you talked about your rounds 4 and 5, how you went, you got your receivers. I did another, I had to go back and I had to get my run. I couldn't wait any longer on running back. Round 4 was probably where I jumped up a little bit. I drafted Travis Etienne. This guy, this guy's he could be a PPR stud or he could be a PPR dud. Like we don't really know yet, right? So that was the one that I was like, I have to do this. There was guys like Josh Jacobs behind him that was maybe a little bit safer, but I know what Josh Jacobs is, man. I mean, he's going to be a 10 to 15 point running back. I think Etienne alone might be grabbing a lot of those, short little passes. And they just got rid of Laviska Shenault today. So that was kind of big too. And that was the other guy that kind of got those short little passes. So Etienne's stack might go up a little bit, but I don't think anybody was really worried about Laviska Shenault. But and then round 5, man, again, letting it fall to me, Patrick Mahomes, number 2 ranked quarterback on NFL. He was the 3rd or 4th quarterback taken in this draft. And I sat there and I thought, who was available at that time? And Patrick Mahomes was in our top tier at quarterback in that position. So I was getting a top tier player instead of a middle tier running back or receiver.
Can't go wrong with it, man. It's how it played out. I was hoping to get a better quarterback, but I ended up, the board said otherwise. I had to wait. I ended up getting Trey Lance, though, another one of my guys that I said was going to have a breakout. So I honestly felt really good about this draft. I don't have a pick that I'm, it's the day after a draft. So obviously I'm sure everyone in the league feels the same way we do. But, man, I like my team. I like my team a lot, man. It's going to be fun, though. We bumped it up to 12-man league this year, so we have a little bit more competition. It's a little bit more strategizing. We got the custom waiver order, so man, it's gonna be a fun year. But man, start after yesterday, I definitely like my team's chances.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way, man. I mean, I don't feel at any time the wheels fall off. I mean, I felt like maybe there's 6 teams in our league where the wheels did fall off. Some of them earlier than the others. I don't think either yours or I don't think either team has that. I think we both have really strong starting lineups. We both have bench depth. We both have upside with rookies, with guys that 2nd-year guys, 3rd-year guys that are going to make a bigger impact. And I really like it, dude. I like the way we went, and I like our teams, and we should see each other at the end.
Right? That'd be cool. That'd be cool. But I mean, the other teams though, that's how our teams go. You guys can see the board behind us here. We have some other guys though in our league, and do you think that there's a clear, like maybe another team that you think is a definite playoff team or that we might have to look out for?
I
honestly think Trevor's team here, dude. Like he took Christian McCaffrey his 2nd, and then he came back with Lamb, Keenan Allen, Scary Terry, Damian Pierce, Jalen Hurts, Rashad Bateman, Goddard. He's got the Hurts and Goddard stack. So I mean.
You're welcome for that Goddard pick, by the way, Trevor. I told you there was one clear choice, and that's probably the
Melvin Gordon, Sky Moore.
So obviously he has
Pacheco at the end. Even Pacheco at the end was a solid pick. I heard a lot of hype around him today. So I mean, dude, I think he's got a solid team this year. Actually,
he's got a lot of upside. He's got a lot of players. Like if they hit, then he's going to be there. Like Damian Pierce, if Damian Pierce hits like everybody says he's going to hit, that's a good pick.
He's run all over the starting Niners defense.
Yeah, McCaffrey, if McCaffrey stays healthy, I mean, obviously he's a stud. CeeDee Lamb, if he breaks out like everybody expects, that's another one. So I was going to say Jeff, which actually was right behind him because he's got Cooper Kupp, James Conner, Justin Herbert, who I think has an MVP aspirations. I think that's Josh Jacobs there. Dalton Schultz, who's going to be a lock for maybe a top 5 tight end, especially top 5 tight ends. He loses a little bit right there with the 2 Chiefs in a row, maybe even Devontae Parker. But
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a 3 wide receiver league, and he's got Cooper Kupp obviously, but you take him away, and his next guy is Tyler Lockett as your wide receiver 2. To me, and then MVS or Devontae Parker, these are guys
those 3 rounds he kind of lost the wheels a little bit, but
I don't feel great about. So I'm not sorry, Jeff. I'm not too. How about Kevin, dude? Right next to him, the Bounty Boys, Dalvin Cook, Tyreek Hill, your boy Javonte.
So Kevin and I were talking quite a bit in this last night's draft.
Mooney, Landry, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I was talking to Kevin.
Not too bad.
I was talking to Kevin a little bit last night, man. And, he first year fantasy player, I believe. He stepped in the last couple of weeks, and, we added him kind of as a replacement. And, he knows what he's talking about, man. He kind of already had his picks in his head. He wanted to get a little bit more clarification on some things. So, I was talking to him quite a bit. But, other than that, Tyreek and Jalen Waddle,
that's not bad.
I don't mind it. That's not a bad duo to have. I've been talking about how I thought Jalen Waddle was going to lead that team in targets, but Tyreek might lead that team in yards. So getting the best of both worlds there.
Honestly, one of my least favorite picks. He took Miles Sanders in round 8. To me, that's around 10 to 15 guy.
He's still a starter, dude. He's still number 1 on that depth chart. I took Kenneth Gainwell a little bit later because I do think Miles Sanders will get passed up at some point.
He's got Javonte and Dalvin. That's a good duo. He's got a wide receiver trio. He's got a solid tight end. Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. So he's got a good starting lineup. He just doesn't seem to have much depth, if you ask me. How about Danny's team though? This dude, he's already talking a bunch of shit in the group text saying that his team's gonna do great. It's the same team from last year almost. You got
So Danny stepped up yesterday and he did a couple Irish car bombs with me. So I'm not gonna go too bad on the guy. He just couldn't really. I think those car bombs got to him a little bit. Let's just put it that way. He was wearing the sash for a reason. It looks like he might have a chance to repeat it, dude. I love that guy. He's got Derrick Henry, man. He's got Leonard Fournette. He's got a nice little duo.
It's a good duo.
AJ Brown, Jerry Jeudy, who we're high on.
And Lamar.
His wheels fell off, dude, late. He does not have a bench at all. He went Hilliard. He had to get that. He had to get that.
How about that Mychal Hardman selection at the end? Got him that Mychal Hardman.
He's pissed about that too, but we kind of made that one for him to help him out a little bit.
Yeah, he's projected 15 points though.
But his wheels fell off, man, and it might have been my fault for feeding car bombs, but it is what it is. But yeah, Danny, man, he's not too bad. He's not too bad. He's
got Jeudy and AJ Brown. Those are going to be guys that are must starts. His 2 running backs.
He's got Rashad Penny, Cordell Patterson, Lamar Jackson. Those are going to be
solid tight ends.
His starting lineup will be legit.
He will be his wide receiver 3. So his flex is going to come down to Penny, Patterson, or Tyler Boyd, one of these guys. So his flex is going to be there. But the rest of the guys are solid, So, if Derrick Henry can regain his form, then that's going to be a solid team. Then who we got after that? John's team? Do we need to worry about John's team? Probably not.
Well, he already has to drop one of them. We know that.
He's got the nice duo with Najee Harris and Nick Chubb.
He jumped a little high on Cooper. Amari Cooper was a little bit higher.
Yeah, that's a bad one. But I love the Ramondre.
Yeah, that was my guy. That could be his. Honestly, that could end up being his RB2.
That's going to be his flex because he's got Chubb and Najee locked in. So Ramondre is going to end up taking that flex spot.
It depends on
DJ Moore, Mike Williams, and he'll put Elijah Moore as his wide receiver 3 with Mike Williams and DJ Moore because Cooper is going to be out. And he's got Freeman, Tucker, Gallup when he comes back. John might be around, dude. He's got a solid team too. We already got Team Scrub. We already went over him.
You mean the highest projection in our league? That team?
Okay. Lucky fluke ass year.
Let's go past number 8, who's the
Fluke ass
highest
lucky
projection.
ass year. All right, and then we got two-hand touch. That's where I don't. Sorry, Josh. I'm gonna keep shitting on you, buddy. I don't. You draft a quarterback that high, and then Kittle in round 3. To me, he's a round 5 guy. Josh Allen's a round 3 or 4 guy, and he's a round 2. So like he reached for these guys. Brees Hall and J.K. Dobbins are just 1 and 2, and I actually think those are pretty decent. But he's got Diggs, Renfro, and Devontae Smith as your 3 receivers. And then Damian Harris or Kenneth Walker as a flex. They're not guys that are like, oh my God, watch out for them. Like not too worried about that lineup. He's gonna have to work some magic here. He went back-to-back defenses, Bills and Rams. Bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off, Cotton.
Yeah, but I mean, I look at it across the board. I mean, waivers are going to be a big thing. How they manage the team, the way it's set up right now.
No shit. That's a good point. You drafted like shit last year.
Yeah. So, I mean, now I drafted really, really well, but I still am probably the best waiver wizard. So, we can, if last year didn't tell you that I'm the best waiver wizard there is, man, let's be real. But
here's the deal. I wake up and piss excellence.
Okay. All right.
The best there is. I'm Ricky Bobby.
We'll see.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah, man. Anyway, I like the way I liked it. I think we're gonna have a little bit of competition up top. I think there's gonna be some bottom dwellers, but hey, it's a long year, dude. Everybody could hit with one free agent. Everybody could hit with one guy that we don't even know. Like you say on Josh's team, like Brees Hall might be that guy. He might be the James Robinson that was 3 years ago. So we don't really know. Damian Harris might keep that job. Like Kenneth Walker might take that job. The Bills might score 15 points a week on D. You just don't really know, right? So I'm excited about this year. We got some news today or news yesterday with like Brian Robinson getting shot. So I mean, is Antonio Gibson going to be back? I mean, something can happen at any given moment that can raise someone's stock or drop someone's stock. So that's fantasy football. I mean, we obviously like our draft. I'm not going to go too hard on all the guys, but we obviously like a couple of different players too. So we go up and down that board and go all day on that. But as far, best day of the year, I want to know what everybody else thinks. I want to know the guys that aren't in our league and see who they think is the best draft. I know, the names are kind of small, but if you guys can read the names behind BT, like let us know who you guys think drafted the best team. I'm going to put some graphics up on Instagram and we're going to put them up on Facebook. Let us know who you think drafted the best team in our league. Are we sitting there? I think we have a pretty good claim to fame. So what do you think, BT?
Man, no, we had a good time, but I mean the draft it's a great time because it's the one time a year we actually all get together and hang out, drink, and focus strictly on fantasy football. But that's just the start of it. You draft your team. We just said last year you didn't draft too well at all, and you still won the whole thing. So draft it's important. It's nice, but guys are going to get hurt. Things are going to happen. You got to adjust, and we're going to be here doing that all season long. We're going to be adjusting, going over who to start, who to sit. Already talking to the group text about a potential trade. I was trying to hit up Chris Camarino for A.J. Dillon because I only got 3 running backs on my roster, and I like all 3 of them a lot, but you never know, and it's a pretty thin position. So now that I looked at it towards the end, I guess the drinks got to me a little bit too. You didn't realize I only had 3 running backs. So we're already wheeling and dealing, already making moves. The fantasy season is underway. Stick with us all season long. Like I said, make sure you guys subscribe and let us know who the best team is. Buck Dynasty, you know what it is.
Yeah, there's champ. They're champ next to my name for a reason. So, all right, guys. Till next time.
Cheers up to another great draft.
A2D, baby.
You know how we do it.